Hello there. So, this is a video review of the TAG Heuer Formula 1 Calibre 16 Automatic Chronograph. The actual unit number, or the model number, CAZ2012.BA0970. This is not mine, it is a relative's who has kindly lent it to me for quite a number of weeks, so hats off to them. I just want to put this out there because I have tried to search for video reviews about this watch. As of now, there is nothing on YouTube, and in terms of real pictures, it is all on some blogs, and most of them seem to be Japanese, so it seems to be pretty new to me. So anyway, on with it. It's a typical TAG Heuer box. People who are familiar with TAG Heuer will know about this. Outer box, inner box, faux leather, and there's the watch. This has already been adjusted, so I've got it open on the extension here. And just to clarify, this is, they call this a racing suit extension. It is not in a sense, a diving wetsuit extension, even though it can function as such, because it is obviously not a dive watch. It is termed a racing suit extension if you ever get around to using it as a racing suit, which I doubt many of us will actually do, but that's what they call it. So there it is. Stainless steel, obviously, mostly, but with some ceramic in it. I'll open it again. So looking through the watch, obviously the very well used Calibre 16 or ETA 7750 automatic chronograph movement, 6, 9, 12 sub dials, small seconds, and the 9 o'clock minute counter at 12, hour counter at 6, and chronograph seconds in the center. Small date window right there on the 3 o'clock position. I like this model very much because it does seem to be an update of one they released a few years ago, which was one of the first automatics ever in the TAG Heuer Formula 1 line, and that was the CAU2011.BA0970. That the main differences with that, minor differences in the dial, with the difference in the red triangles you see here in the quadrants. I don't know if it's visible, but there are tiny red triangles at the 3, 6, 9, and 12 position. The minor differences in the printing and the hands. The major differences are this has, I think, a better looking ceramic dial tachymeter with smaller horizontal print numbers on the tachymeter, and with the major difference as well with the case, that it is now a lug based case, whereas the previous Formula 1s have always been, or almost always been, lugless. I personally prefer the lug design, even though it detracts a little bit from traditional Formula 1. This harks back to the Heuer Octavia, which was, as far as I can understand, a popular watch. So anthracite dial, which is a type of carbon material with a natural luster, as you can see when I slowly rotate it. Again, ceramic bezel, but the rest is essentially stainless steel in the body. Formula 1 Calibre 16 TAG Heuer printed there on the 3 o'clock. Applied indices, which, really stainless steel filled with lume, and they play with the light in its own way. Alternating brushed and polished surfaces, so as you can see there on the bezel, brushed on top and in between, polished on the top, in between brushed. The sides of the watch, the case is polished, whilst the top of the case and the side where the lugs are is brushed, and you can see it's not a flat lug, it tapers in like the Octavia. Formula One style back with the checkered flag and TAG Heuer in the middle, along with some other details around the side. And nice little red highlights, tachymeter, the red on the center seconds, and as well as the tips of the hour and minute counters, and on the start-stop button of the chronograph here at the 2 o'clock position, as well as the crown, the main crown, which I think initially it comes across as quite large and bulky, but it works. It works very well. It, you know, very easy to unscrew, and it just, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's smooth, and when it winds, I'll see if you can actually hear the sound. Very soft, but it winds very smoothly. And there is a manual winding function to this, as well as the weights, the flywheel inside the watch. Okay, so and then the bezel, fairly, I guess it's not that standard. There's a ceramic center insert there. It's a 5-piece bezel, 2 on the side, stainless steel, with 2 smaller stainless steel linings next to the ceramic in the middle. Standard clasp, double safety clasp. All right, there we go. It's got 5 of the 6 TAG Heuer features, meaning it's waterproof to 200 meters with a screw down crown. It's got sapphire. It's got a sapphire glass. It's got a screw-in case back. It's got a double safety clasp, and I forget exactly what the other 2 are, but one of them is a rotating bezel, and this bezel does not rotate. It doesn't make sense for a tachymeter to rotate, I think, and that's absolutely fine with me as it is. Okay, pros and cons. I think the big pros to me are it's got those 5 of the 6 features. It's got sapphire crystal. It's got luminous markers which work quite well. I'm sorry I can't do a loom shot here, but it works quite well. It's an automatic chronograph, which, you know, I don't have to demonstrate. This Calibre 16 or ETA 7750 is everywhere, but I will just start it, and that's how it goes. The second hands are in the center for the chronograph. I think the design is very nice. It's got a anthracite face. It's got black subdials. It screams sports chronograph. It's got a very clear identity. You're not going to mistake this for a diver or a dress watch or or an aviator. This is very much a sports chronograph, and a racing sports chronograph at that. It's got ceramic in it, which is a bonus, and it's got lugs, and I think the lugs are beautiful. The way that they've chosen to craft this. The red highlights are subtle; they're not over the top. It's got a screw down crown, and lastly, I think it just engages a third sense. And most of the time when you talk about a watch, I think you're talking about sight and touch. In this case, I like how the watch sounds. I mean, this bracelet is active. You can hear it swinging. It won't make those sounds on your wrist, but it does when you're playing with it. You heard me winding the watch. You can hear the escapement very, very clearly if you put this watch anywhere close to your ear. I don't know if it will now. I don't know if that will capture, but it's very easy to hear it, both in the chronograph and just with the chronograph stopped. Yeah, and I think that's a bonus to me. Okay, notable things, which are either pros or cons depending on your opinion. It's a Calibre 16, ETA 7750 or Sellita SW500, depending on what's exactly inside. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's very common. It's not going to be a unique thing by any means, but it's a very reliable movement. So depending on what you feel about the ETA movement used in these watches, you know, that it's a very well used movement, anywhere from brands like Longines, Oris to Omega, Breitling, Tissot, you know, many entry to even mid-level Swiss luxuries. The feel is quite edgy, right? Lots of 90-degree angles. You know, that bottom angle there, these bracelet sides, even these little bits between the bezel. You definitely feel the edges on this watch. I think that adds a certain sportiness to it, but some people may not like that. Okay, the cons. There is, it's not a chronometer, right? This runs about 10 to 12 seconds fast a day. That's not bad. I think TAG Heuer quotes anywhere between -5 to +20 seconds a day. +12 is right in there, and it's not bad. You certainly can cope with that, but it's not a chronometer. The biggest con, I think, to me is the bracelet. It leaves a lot to be desired. This is not it's not high end. It's pressed metal. It's functional, but it does leave a lot to be desired. You know, compare it to some of the things that Omega offers. Of course, Omega is more expensive, but you know, as another example, these are push pins. You know, you get watches which are cheaper than this with screw pins. You know, that just, you know, I think they could have possibly tried to do a bit better. So the bracelet is a weakness in terms of those features. I think the ceramic is a plus overall. I mean, it depends on how you feel about that. You can get a model that has just pure stainless steel without the ceramic, but this is the one that has the ceramic. It's new in Australia. You can't get it in stores, as far as I've been told. You can only special order it from TAG Heuer Australia. I don't know how it works in other countries, but it doesn't seem to be that easy to find. It's listed at 4,000 Australian dollars, but you know, nobody will pay that. You should easily be getting this at 3,000 or maybe just above, I would think. All right, so there we have it. Let me know what you think. Just as a note, this is my very first video that I plan to upload. All the best to all of you, and see you next time if I ever do another one.